what a terrible weekend for boxing. But what a great weekend for the UFC. How is a fight night better than a Saul fight?
Yeah, as you know, the Canelo fight was actually the least landed thrown punches in since they started keeping stats in boxing history. Like, His Excellency tried his best to put on a great performance, but the fighters have to fight. But at least the fighters are fighting each other. And you know how the next day, Crawford versus Thing, they did the face-off in the ring. I'm excited for that fight. Anyways, we're going to be talking about the UFC. We're going to talk about the card that happened last night. It was a great card, except for one or two fights were terrible. But other than that, it was a great card. We'll start off with Jeremy Stevens and Jones.
Yeah, I think everyone's gonna know who he is now at this point with a performance like that. Jeremy Stevens put up a good performance, man. It was a back and forth fight. They both had their moments, but Jones ultimately won by unanimous decision. It was like a slugfest. It was a slugfest for the first 2 rounds. Then he took him down and held him there, and that's what closed out the win for him. A smart move on his part because Jeremy Stevens hits hard. That guy got tagged a few times, and it was a smart move by Jones.
Yeah, it started off the night great, and then the next fight wasn't the best. But it was Smotherman versus Sadeh. Sadeh just wanted to win by decision pretty much. He didn't go for the finish, and Smotherman doesn't throw enough punches, so it was. It was a pretty boring fight, to be honest. Sadeh won by unanimous decision. Not much more to talk about there.
We were both right on our picks there.
Yeah. To be honest, I went 4 for 6, and I think you went 3 for 6.
Yeah.
I didn't go perfect this time.
The next one I got wrong.
So Jackson versus Marcos. You thought no. Jackson won, like I said.
Yeah, I got it wrong. I thought Marcos was going to win, but he was undefeated. I thought he was going to come in and control the fight more. But it wasn't like that. This also was not a very lackluster fight. It was not exciting at all. So, it started the card off pretty good, and then it kind of died down. But Jackson ended up ultimately getting the win via unanimous decision. But this next fight might be was one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. Daniel Rodriguez versus Santiago Ponzinibbio. I got this one wrong. I thought Ponzinibbio was going to win because I thought D-Rod didn't have a good chin. And Ponzinibbio usually goes out in slugfests. And he did do that. But this time D-Rod's chin did hold up. And he ultimately ended up winning by knockout.
Yeah, like I told you in the pre-fight, and I told everyone, choose D-Rod because he's more technical striker. He is the most technical and clean striker, and he landed on him a couple of times and ended the fight. And Ponzinibbio was complaining that it ended too early, but I think when he goes back and watches it, he'll realize that he couldn't defend himself, so it was a good stoppage. I agree with the stoppage.
Yeah, same. He was fully knocked out. He was fully knocked out. He just ended up, even after he was complaining when he got up, he stumbled. He didn't have his balance and he stumbled towards the cage and hit the fence. So yeah, it was a good stoppage. Definitely a good stoppage. But yeah, like you said, when he watches it back and when his team talks to him, he's gonna come to the realization it actually was a really good stoppage. The next fight was a shocker. We got this both wrong. Bo Nickel versus De Ridder. Now, De Ridder, if you don't know, is a Netherlands fighter, and we thought this fight was going to be more of a grappling match, and we thought that a wrestler like Bo Nickel would out-grapple De Ridder.
I thought it was going to be a grappling match, but I didn't think he was going to out-grapple him, because De Ridder is one of the best jiu-jitsu people in the world, and he's bigger, and he's a former champion from his previous organization. I thought it was going to be a cross-sniffing match, like I said, but no one dominating the other. So I thought Bo Nickel's boxing has gotten better, which I was thinking Bo Nickel's gonna knock him out in the second round. That's what we chose. But
no, that's what I thought. That's what I'm saying. I thought Bo Nickel was gonna out wrestle him in the first round, hold him down, and De Ridder was gonna be afraid of the takedown and end up getting caught in the second round. But that's not what happened.
Second round, he finished him with second round. De Ridder finished him with knees.
Yeah.
It was the opposite. We thought Bo Nickel was going to finish him, but it was a great performance by De Ridder.
Yeah, he did. He threw a vicious knee to the body. Vicious knee. Hit him right in the liver. He was done. That was it. That was a vicious knee. One of the worst knees I've seen. Dropped Bo Nickel, folded him, gave him his first loss of his UFC career. But Bo Nickel's young. He's got a lot to learn from this. His striking is getting better. His grappling is getting better. And eventually, I think he can be a good fighter. But calling out Hamza Chimaev that early in your career, I don't think so, man. You're not at that level.
Yeah, see, people get all hyped up because he's fighting no names, right? He was fighting like up and a lot of them weren't ranked. Actually, no one was ranked. I think
No one was ranked, right? Yeah.
Or maybe he fought the last fight was ranked, but Chimaev has fought the best the last 2-3 times, the best of the best. So even if he had a close fight against Gilbert Burns, he's still fighting one of the best.
Yeah.
It's not like you're fighting a no name, you know. But anyways, what did you?
But that's what Dorita is like. You gave me the best wrestler the UFC has.
Best American.
Best American wrestler. Now give me the best American striker. He wants Sean Strickland next.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun matchup. I hope that matchup happens.
Yeah, I don't think Dorita can win that match, to be honest.
Oh, I think he can.
Because I don't think he's going to get Sean Strickland down, and then it's just going to be he doesn't have that good striking to compete with Sean Strickland, in my opinion. But we'll talk about that if that happens. The main event, I was wrong on this one too. You were right. I apologize to Corey Sandhagen. I said he was an overrated fighter, but he still might be. To be honest, he beat an up and coming. It's not in his natural division, and it's not a champion he's fighting.
But it's not. First of all, that's a wrong statement. It is a natural division. He was cutting too much weight in the other division and was a weight bully, like Corey Sandhagen said. Now he can't weight bully people anymore, and that's why he got lost. But still, that's why he got knocked out.
No, Figueroa, he didn't get knocked out. It was a knee. His knee.
Yeah, but it was like
his knee injury.
Yeah, but it wasn't a knee injury. He kind of caused the knee injury. He put pressure on his knee. If you watch the fight, his knee was caught up in if you know what a leg lock is, he had a leg lock on him. His knee was caught up, and according to Corey Sandhagen, he put more pressure on that knee when he sat up, and that's what possibly even popped the knee. And then he landed some strikes, and it was already over because he was tapping because of the knee. It wasn't just a knee injury. It was a knee injury caused by Corey Sandhagen's grappling.
Corey Sandhagen was looking excellent, to be honest. He always looks excellent against these fighters. But once it gets to the top of the top...
This is the top of the top.
No, who's the champion in this division? Merab, right?
Yeah.
Can he do that against Merab?
Well, he wants Merab next.
Yeah, let's see. Merab or Sean O'Malley. Can he do that against the champion? I told you, Corey Sandhagen is like... You know the fighter right underneath the champion?
Yeah.
Like how Robert Whittaker was?
Robert Whittaker was champion.
No, but then after he kept climbing up, but then he couldn't pass Israel.
Yeah.
You know, there's some fighters like that. Yoel Romero.
Yeah.
Always got to the title but couldn't pull through.
Yeah.
I think Corey Sandhagen is like that, but he did look sharp. And Figueroa before this fight or whatever, terrible game plan. He's so, like, I don't want to say dumb, but he kept going for a leg lock that he's never gonna get.
Yeah.
And that guy trains with the best leg lock person in the game, Ryan Hall. If you know Ryan Hall, all he does is go lay on the ground and try to grab your leg.
Yeah,
he doesn't even throw a punch.
That's his game plan.
So that's what he learned from. So of course you're not going to catch him in the leg lock. He trains with that guy that's way better than anyone in doing leg locks, which is why he probably did cause the injury. Yeah,
I feel like he should have struck a bit more. Should have stood it up on the feet a bit more for Figueiredo. I felt like he had the power advantage, but he never took advantage of that.
And he kept holding his leg and keep taking punches.
Yeah.
He was just holding his leg, not even close to a submission, and taking vicious ground and pound, not even light.
Yeah, it was bad.
So even if the leg didn't break, he's just taking punches. His knee. It's a terrible game plan by him.
Yeah.
I don't think he was in the best shape coming in, but good win by Corey Sandhagen. Let's see. Hopefully he gets the title shot next. I want to see him against, I think, Merab or Sean O'Malley, right? That's the next fight. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Anyways, thank you for listening, and I hope you guys enjoyed the UFC fight night. And if you guys like boxing, there's lackluster boxing events, but let's see how the next thing goes. They still have to announce the main event for the International Fight Week. Hopefully, it's Ilya versus Islam, but we'll get to that when it happens. Thank you.